Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hooga With It. Today I wanted to talk to you about books to read when you're in a slump. We've all had slumps and they feel like they will never end. I've done a whole other video about how to get out of a book slump before, and I will link that somewhere. But I wanted to do actually a few videos like this. And focusing on short books, because I think when you're in a slump, you just need to get at least one book under you before you can feel like, oh, you know, I've got some momentum to read more. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about short books that are horror books. So these are scary books that will have you turning the pages, so you'll want to know what happens at the end. That honestly you could read in like a couple of sittings, no problem. And I think I have read quite a few of these in one sitting. So I hope that this helps a few of you out who are struggling with a slump. Let's get into it. The book I want to recommend is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. This is an incredibly short book, 200 pages long, and this is about a man who goes to an estate. He's kind of finishing up. A woman has died there. He is a junior solicitor and he has to go to just finish up stuff for the estate. Well, he goes there and he gets stuck there overnight, and he quickly realizes the house doesn't want him there, as well as its ghostly inhabitants, and it is very eerie. There's this like fog that rolls in and he's just stuck there. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. I actually want to read this again this summer because it's so short and sweet. And I don't remember all of the details of it, and I just loved it very much. So that is the first one if you need to get out of a slump. Next, I want to recommend Come Closer by Sarah Gran. I just recently read this and absolutely adored it. If you like possession stories, this is a book for you. This is about a woman who becomes possessed. You're reading it from her vantage point. And it's very disturbing because it happens so slowly. And it seems like it could happen to anyone because the signs of possession aren't overly dramatic. They're very, very subtle. And honestly, it creeped me out. It was so disturbing and so... oh, it just gets under your skin. It just does. It's very, very creepy. So if you're looking for a possession story and you need something quick and dirty to get into, this will do it. I also want to recommend Bird Box. I think I'm just always going to recommend this book. Maybe like every video I'll talk about Bird Box at the end or something. Have you read this yet? Bird Box is my favorite horror book that I've ever read, and it's quite short. This one comes in at 260 pages. And this is about a world in which you can't go outside, because if you go outside and you see this thing, whatever the thing is, you'll try to murder other people and you will most definitely kill yourself. So we're flashing forward and backward in time, in which this woman, her name is Mallory, yeah, she has 2 kids. She's living in this house. All of the windows are boarded up and she needs to leave. They've got to get out of this house, and she's trying to find a safe haven. So she decides to blindfold herself, blindfold her 2 children, get into a boat at the back of her house and sail along this lake or creek, trying to find a safe haven. Still the creepiest book I've ever read, and you'll want to know what happens to Mallory, and oh god, it's just so creepy. Go and read it. Okay, another very creepy book, The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. This one is coming out in June. We are in June, so it's coming out very, very soon. This is about a family who rents a cabin. It consists of a little girl and her two fathers. Now she is sitting outside playing with grasshoppers, just doing her own thing, and this man comes down the lane and he comes and hangs out with her, and he seems nice enough, and then he says, you know, when what's about to happen isn't your fault. He starts to move towards the house. She gets there first and convinces her dads to barricade themselves in. They start to see down the lane other people join this creepy man outside, and they're all wielding these very weird instruments. They are kind of like Lucille from The Walking Dead, if you watched that. So they're just like weapons that they created themselves, and it's just that whole experience. What would you do? You need to know what happens. Again, super short. This one comes in at like 270 pages. So good. I hope you go and read this. Oh yes, finally, this is a book that I just read. It's called Foe by Ian Reid. I don't have a physical copy because I've already lent it to my mom. This one comes out in August, and it is really eerie. This is about a couple who live on a farm, and this is happening like, I would say 50 to like 80 years from now. They live on a farm, it's just the two of them, and a man comes to the door one day and says, Junior, you have been selected for this exciting job opportunity, and you know, you've been selected as a group that could potentially do this, and you'd be traveling far, far away, and I believe they'd be traveling to space, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly. But you know, before we actually choose the final people who will be going, I just need you to know that it'll be happening slowly, and so I'll be coming to visit you every couple of years, and we'll do some interviews and stuff, and I'll let you know if you do make it to be finally truly selected. And Junior doesn't know what to think of this. He lives with his wife Hen, and they just have a nice life that he enjoys. And this man says, you know, Hen will be totally fine. I know you're worried about her, but you'll be replaced by somebody else. Like, someone will always be with her. And this should make him feel better. It doesn't. It's so creepy. You don't understand what's going on. And that's the best part of Ian Reid. And Ian Reid's writing is so brilliant. You feel completely uncomfortable the whole time you're reading it. And there's always a huge reveal at the end. But you don't know why you feel so weird. It just is so unsettling. This man can write unsettling reads in a way that I don't know. I don't know. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. That one's another short one. I think it was 200 pages-ish. So I hope that you will go and read that too. So those are all of the very short books that I think would pull you out of a reading slump if you like horror. And there's something about a good horror book too that makes you want to pick it up and read really quickly and get to the bottom of what's happening. And I personally can't seem to put a lot of horror books down, but these ones in particular I just found addictive. So I hope that this helps you to get out of a reading slump. Maybe pick these up when there's a nice thunderstorm outside, a good setting for that. So I hope that you guys are doing well. Let me know in the comments below what horror books that are short and sweet you would recommend to someone going through a reading slump. Because who knows? I could go through one and need you and need your help. So I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!